Good afternoon. Welcome to my presentation where we'll be discussing managing a government agency as the private sector. In this presentation, we'll be covering these topics. We'll be covering hierarchy structures, employee and superior relations, as well as public opinions or influences. Overall, it is possible to run a government agency similar to private sectors in some aspects, though it will come with difficulties. Government could adopt the private sector's monocratic ordered chain of command, or the hierarchy structure. This structure can reward and promote qualified workers. Government can also offer incentives and ensure job security, while simultaneously attracting a lot of top talents from other agencies. However, the implementation of this hierarchy could prove difficult, with many of the layers of government intertwining with one another. With this hierarchy, government has to be wary of a concentration of power among the higher branches in power, such as private sector's example of corporate managers overbearing individual stores. The government could implement integration of managers working with employees, developing personal relations, and once they are familiar with the staff, superiors can promote specializations under a division of labor. These superiors must be expertly trained under a clearly defined and firm rules, mimicking the private sector's standard operating procedure. However, these rules cannot be so strict that we compromise flexibility in order to serve the public. That will transition us into public opinion, where it's equally important regardless if you're in private or public sectors. Both must be sensitive to the public's opinion. Government is more exposed to public and media than private sectors are. It would be increasingly important to influence their minds for cooperation. It's also more difficult for public sector to do this. Private sectors have the luxury of being able to take a legal approach, assisting the public individually and uniquely. However, that's impossible for government to do, since the laws and ordinances that are pushed affect whole groupings, similar to a political approach. Also, decisions must be made by someone thinking like a government official, not just by someone reacting to public influence. So overall, public sectors can adopt some private practices and methodologies, but it cannot implement them fully without compromising some beliefs that are core to government and public sector. These are the references that I've used throughout my presentation, and thank you guys for listening. I look forward to interacting with other presentations.